The brand new STRUTHIOMIMUS Tlc is out now for you guys to check out as part of the game's latest update, and here is the full overview to showcase this new rework of the dinosaur. Now I'm going to try and get some before and afters for you all, so let's see what we can do here. The subspecies have been reworked as well. This is a total rework of the dinosaur itself, so of course the first one is Altus plus 50% acceleration speed. Here is the old one on the screen, the old model, and here is the new one for you to have a look at. Then you've got Plumus, which is plus 10% stamina recovery, and then you've got Run Speed, which is Calvitius, plus 5% run speed, the naked one, everyone's favourite. Here are the before and afters on the screen for you to have a look at, and have a look at the model itself. Let me know what you think. When it comes to the skins, all the skins have had relative changes to them. I mean, the default skin has had major changes to it. Here's the old default skin, here's the new default skin. But when you go through the other skins, most of them have only had changes to their overall pattern, just to keep it up to date with the model. And so most of these don't need an overview showcase. There is another two that have had reworks, however, major reworks, and I'll get to them when I come to them. But at the moment we are on Red Stripe, which is a good skin, then Flaxen, another beautiful skin, and then Flint. When we get to the new skins, the first one, it's not new but reworked, is Fox. Now, this was technically reworked before, and that reworked version is in the game now on the STRUTHIOMIMUS anyways, but the old version looked like this, if I can find that. Of course, then you've got Budgie, which is also reworked, but this is already on the live branch as well. If I can find the old version, I'll have that on the screen now. Then you've got Stark, and then Albino, and Melanistic. So this is the STRUTHIOMIMUS baby, and it is absolutely adorable. This is the old STRUTHIOMIMUS baby, and this is the new STRUTHIOMIMUS baby, so you can see the model changes there. That being said, you pretty much just get your standard kick attack, and that is that. Well, this is kick barrage actually, but when you look at the attacks that you can get, now I have stuff equipped already. It was because, you know, this was previously an adult. These are the stuff you get from default when you are a juvenile. You're able to get these passives unlocked straight away. On Alert is unlocked straight away, that's on the head slot. Then you can change your metabolisms, these will cost marks. You can change your hides as well, these will cost marks as well. You then also get Kick Barrage and Back Kick and Leap. Kick Barrage and Leap will cost marks, I just have Kick Barrage unlocked at the moment, but you start off with your default kick. Now the default kick looks like this. I mean, it's the standard kick that you get on your Struthi. There you go. Now, when it comes to your abilities, there is a lot on offer. You start off with your passives, you get 2 of them, and 2 slots. These are unlocked straight away. You get Feathery Hide, which builds up 1 stack of Feathery Hide every 30 seconds for a maximum of 5 stacks. Reduces incoming damage by 10% per active stack. Incoming attacks will remove 1 stack per hit. Then you get Double Jump, which allows you to double jump. You have to do this within the first 2 seconds of your first jump. For the head, you get On Alert. This used to be a passive, no longer. It essentially means when you stand still for a set amount of time, you'll have a radar showcased, and it will showcase the movement of player in that radius. It's a specific radius, I don't know how much, I think it's like 100 meters or something, but yeah, it's really good. For the sensors, you've got 3 here. You've got Herbivore Parade, which gains 4% increased stamina recovery. That applies to each Campto, Struthi, Kentro or Patchy in the group up to 10 stacks within 75 meters. If you have Herbivore Parade equipped, you gain a stack for each Campto, Struthi, Kentro or Patchy. If not, you gain gain a stack for each member with the ability. Lone Survivor is a standard ability, every dinosaur has it. Then you get Scout, which increases your speed by 10% when you are in a group. You're going more support scouting based as a dinosaur. Front Limb is Slipstream. You essentially activate this, anyone sprinting behind you sprints faster, or trotting. They go faster, they will eventually overtake you, so bear that in mind. Then you get metabolisms, standard forager, herbivore, insectivore, they have not changed. For the hide, you get hollow bones, reduces jumping stamina cost by 20%, display feathers, increases the duration of your calls by 20%, and thick feathers increases health recovery rate by 50%. Moving on, you have your legs. You've got braced legs, which allows you to move faster when moving uphill or downhill. You also have long distance runner, which reduces stamina drain by 15%. And then you get strong legs, which takes 40% less knockback and 15% increased bone break healing. Next, you get your back limb, which is where you get your 2 attacks. This dinosaur has 2 attacks. You get your kick, standard, does medium damage, and you get kick barrage, which is a quick attack that increases power with each hit. This is a very good attack. I would recommend you get this over kick barrage. As long as you're landing your kicks, you can pretty much deal a lot of damage. Get a whole bunch of Struthies doing kick barrage, you'll be doing very well in my eyes. And I've tested that, I've tried it. For the leap, it increases jump height and decreases fall damage. And then you move to your voice. You get your combat calls, and you get your survival calls. So you get Safeguard, Tantrum, and Swift Tempo for the combat calls. Safeguard increases armor by 5% for all group members within 15 meters for 15 seconds. Tantrum increases attack damage by 5% for all group members within 15 meters for 15 seconds. And Swift Tempo, this decreases ability cooldowns by 25% for all group members within 15 meters for 2 seconds, which is a really good ability. Then you get your survival calls. You've got Hustle, which is a standard one. It's a call that increases your group's trotting speed by 20% for 5 minutes within 75 meters. Dust Off is a dust off ability. Dust off your group members behind you, reducing sprinting stamina drain by 50% for 1 minute. A very, very good ability. Then you got Rat Out, which essentially any dinosaur creature within 20 meters will perform a broadcast call when you do this ability. All affected creatures in your group will gain 20% increased trot movement speed for 30 seconds. Yeah, that's quite decent. So if you want to test the damage of the attacks, or see the damage, an Alderon is probably one of the better candidates. It's a 2 slot, it's a decent dinosaur, and then you can attack it quite well. So for the kick attack, of course, well, it does about 22.8 damage hitting the legs, by the way. You have to bear that in mind. The hit range on the kick attack isn't the best. As you can see here, you really have to get that leap in, because if you're just right on the body, it's often or not sometimes going to miss or get stuck like that. It depends where your hitbox is. So you're doing a consistent 22 damage to the Alderon. However, the kick barrage is where things get a little spicy. So the kick barrage you can only do while you are walking or running, but you can't do it while you are stood still. You also can't do it while you are slow walking, so bear that in mind. However, once you are literally on a dinosaur, you could just start going away. It does 2 attacks, and if one of them connects, you're doing damage. You've got about 10 seconds before the attack wears off, so you have to bear that in mind. When you're at your max attack, you're doing about 30 damage per hit. 37 damage per hit, actually, by the looks of it. It really is depending where I'm hitting this lovely Alderon. But as long as you're hitting it, you're going to be doing consistent damage, and you have to hit it with that within that 10-second time frame, otherwise you'll go back to 3 seconds of damage. But as you can see, you're tearing the dinosaur apart, and we're going to leave it right there. However, you also have to bear in mind that sometimes you do miss, and that is important to note. we tore that thing down quite quickly, probably a lot faster than you would with the standard kick. However, the standard kick does have that consistent 22 damage every time, whereas this one has, if you get into the upper echelons, you've got 37 damage per hit. But at the start, when you're doing not that much and you're missing, you're doing 9. So it really depends how good you are at getting into harm's way, consistently dodging the attacks from your opponent and dealing damage. Because bear in mind, you're not going to be fighting a static target. Now, the other thing I want to showcase to you is the brand new ability, which is on alert. Now, this takes 10 seconds to, do its thing. I'm going to make sure I'm not seeing this Alderon, because there's two things I want to showcase with this ability. Stand still for 10 seconds. When it hits 5 seconds, you'll be able to see the dinosaur or the ability cooldown come into play. When you do it, you then get this 100-meter radius around you where you're able to see dinosaur movement. And as soon as I start moving on this account, the other account, you'll be able to see that you can see it. Now I'm going to run away, which is roughly 100 meters away. The icon will get smaller until I get to the border, and then it disappears. Yeah, it's gone now, and then it comes back in. So now we're behind a rock, so you'll be able to see if this is actually something that works when you're seeing someone behind a rock. So if I look over here, right, and I angle this Alderon from a specific way, so I'm behind the rock itself. Yeah, once you go behind the rock, you'll be able to see the movement. So when you're out of that view range, you're still able to see exactly where it is. I'm walking behind the rock. As soon as I come out from the rock, you won't be able to see my footprints. When I go behind the rock again, or solid terrain, you will be able to see the footprint. And that's a nice little caveat. Bushes, you won't be able to see it. Solid terrain, you will be.